podcasting from Northwest Pennsylvania. You're listening to the Gen Extra Podcast, a show about Generation X, movies, technology, weird news, and anything else they feel like. Join them every Monday morning. Now, here's your hosts, Dave and Joe.
All right, welcome back to another episode.
You know what I think we should do at some point? I think maybe when we are just have absolutely had it with the opening, I think we should get it like remixed or something.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like either reach out to the person and have them do a new one or just have them remix it.
I think you do have to do it every so often.
Yeah. like especially if we ever become new and improved, whatever that means.
But at the same time, like sitcom intros, you kind of fall in love with the intro, even though it's the same for years and years. If if Happy Days or, Friends or whatever, like some classic show decided, partway through their seasons, they were going to swap out the actual intro of the show. I don't know if people would enjoy that change.
Well, I'm not sure if we're there yet.
We're not that caliber of a show. Yes, fair point. Yes. Fair point.
Yes. However, I think it's a fair point, but I have the other podcasts that I listen to. Mm-hmm. They do, and I'm not saying this is the right thing to do. Like maybe it is more jarring than worth it, but they do swap out their song once a season. Actually, some do, some don't.
Like just to differentiate the seasons, perhaps.
And that's what they were doing. But you and I also dropped the seasonal format because it was doing absolutely nothing for us.
Right.
So I guess what's the difference?
Yeah, I guess we'll just change it whenever we feel like it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you remember the old one? The old intro?
I do remember the old intro.
I still have I have the music on the board. You want to do it real quick?
I mean, we busted it out about a year ago. Do you remember that? Yeah. I think we started a show with the old intro.
Just for nostalgia? You want me to do it?
No, we did it. Do you remember? We did it.
I know, but I haven't done it in a year.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's in case we have any new listeners, let's kick off the old intro.
I'll see if I remember how it goes. I don't even know if I do. Hang on. I'm thinking in my head here. I think I know. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the Gen Extra Podcast with Dave and Joe. It's a podcast where we talk about anything and everything from the perspective and life experience of two guys born at the end of Generation X.
Hey, Dave.
What's up, Joe? How's it going, man?
How you doing? Yeah, good, fine, great.
Good to be on this podcast with you. How weird is this,
intro.
Huh? Oh my God.
Oh man. All right.
So what the hell?
Welcome back.
Ridiculous. Oh my God. All right. So we do have a bit of a plan for the show. I texted you a article I found.
Yeah.
It was this is so up our alley. The article says first ever Florida, quote unquote, Florida Man games to be featured. To be featured. There should be like a comma there or something.
Right.
Beer belly wrestling and evading arrest obstacle course. Dude.
Yeah, it's the Florida. I think basically it's like the Florida Man Game Olympics.
It is.
So
like it's like full, like you buy tickets, you can actually go to this thing and watch it. That's hilarious, man. So in the article, they're having the evade arrest one that I saw that I'm reading. Like they have contestants who sign up for this.
Right.
And they're going to have obstacles like a fence and like certain things they have to get around or under, whatever, over top. And dude, it says they're going to have actual police officers participating that are going to chase them.
Yeah. You know, what's kind of funny about this? This isn't some like backyard, version of this. They're actually getting, well, maybe some B-list celebrities and stuff, but they're actually getting cops involved to have some fun with it. They're getting some B-list celebrities involved with it. Some of the old American gladiators are going to be the referees.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the first one of the beer belly? I'm assuming that's just
there's beer
big dad bods wrestling.
I guess. Yeah. Gator. Is there going to be like a fake gator wrestling too? I think.
Oh, so there's no way they can use a real gator.
Right. This is going to be a pretty violent.
Loses their head.
But it's just funny because it's a celebration of everything, quote unquote, Florida man, right? Like all of the crazy, wild, and weird stories that come out of Florida, and they're just going to put all in one not game show, but one like summer games type thing.
I like that they're self-aware of all of this, like, because if there's two themes that come up with our Florida man stories, it's usually something to do with running from the police or an alligator.
Yeah, it's a gator. Something weird about running from the police, like while they definitely should not have been because they weren't ever even going to get away in the first place. Or it's just some bizarre thing, like they tried to pay for, they tried to go through a drive-through and trade like weed for the food or something like that.
I think it's an actual story though.
I think it is. I think it's mentioned here. Is that it's one of the?
Oh, is it? Yeah. See, I thought I remember reading that somewhere. Or try and cross the Atlantic Ocean with
with a bubble or whatever it was, right?
The hamster ball.
The old Florida Man Olympics.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in going to check that out, just Google it. Look up Florida Man Games in Florida.
Yeah.
I think it says sometime in February or something, like early next year.
It looks like so you could actually bring up the actual website. It's called FloridaManGames.com, and it has a bunch of quotes on it. But where's the date? Here it is. February 24th, 2024 at the Francis Field in St. Augustine, Florida.
February 24th. Let me see. Wait,
are we going to be available that weekend?
We're going on a cruise. Oh my God.
Wait, you're not really going to be there, are you?
That's the day we're getting to Florida.
Do you think you could make it by?
Dude, I hope so. I would. I don't know where's it at in Florida.
St. Augustine. Are you leaving from St. Augustine?
No, but I don't know. I think where's St. Augustine compared to like.
Well, where are you launching from?
Honestly, I can't remember. I feel like we're landing in Orlando, but I think we port like somewhere like 45 minutes away. So I don't know how close St. Augustine is.
St. Augustine is on the East Coast. About pretty northern Florida.
Okay.
It's on the East Coast, northern Florida. So, it's even north of Daytona Beach.
Okay, so that's up towards Orlando, right?
Orlando is near. It's not that far. It's definitely not that far. But Orlando's like basically the center of Florida.
Okay. I don't know. I'll see how far it is, man. That'd be hilarious if I could actually make it to this.
To have a live Gen Extra representation at the Florida Man Games would absolutely would be great. Now, obviously, we can't promise anything, but it's something that we can take a look at.
Yeah. So I'll get back to you on that. See if I can make that happen.
All right, sounds good.
My wife would probably enjoy it as well. So anyway, that was just one quick story I want to talk about. But the meat of this show is going to be the 30 best crazy conspiracy theories that people actually believe, which we have done something similar in the past.
So we're doing a small return today to conspiracy theories because as we got to talking about this more, we kind of left it short last time. We realized there's so many more that we can be talking about.
Yes, there are a lot. So, but we do apologize in advance if we happen to repeat one that we did before, because I can't exactly remember. I know we did the moon landing, so I know we're not going to do that one. But there's
a couple others that I know we talked about in here, but we'll skip over those, or at least try to.
Yeah.
At least try to.
Yeah. And we're also going to avoid any of them that are really controversial.
Oh, the spicy ones.
Yeah, we don't want to make anybody mad.
That's not what we do here.
No. We'll pick the fun ones. So why don't you kick us off, Joe? Why don't you pick one to start with?
All right. You know what? The one that I think is it's a conspiracy theory born from a conspiracy theory, which I think would make the most interesting thing to talk about first. So number 5 on this list, and there's no particular order to this stuff, but number 5 on this list is over at Popular Mechanics, is Disney created Frozen as a distraction. And so you might be thinking, okay, the Frozen, the story, the recent story, Elsa and Anna, Frozen, whatever. Mm-hmm. What's it a distraction to? Well, this is kind of funny because if you remember last time we talked about conspiracy theories, one of the conspiracy theories we talked about was that Walt Disney is frozen somewhere, right? And there's different variations of it, whether his whole body is frozen to reanimate him or they just froze his head, blah, 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 whatever. But the conspiracy theory is that Disney got so sick of people Googling that, searching for it.
So like, let's just make a movie called Frozen.
Exactly. And that if you search Disney Frozen now, the number one hit
Oh, I'm sure it's
is
the movie. Yeah.
Is the movie in the sequel or whatever, instead of Walt Disney is frozen on ice somewhere. So I just thought that was kind of it was like, I don't know how often you're going to see that. A conspiracy theory born from a conspiracy theory.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's very true. But if they just add the word "is" to the front of that sentence,
yeah, right.
will that then just narrow down the search what they're looking for? So if they decided to do this for real for that reason, I don't think it's true.
Right. And I think if you do, and I mean, we could even try it live. I'm pretty sure if you go to any search engine, whatever search engine you like, right, and you say Walt Disney is frozen, you're going to get all the pages discussing the conspiracy theory about Walt Disney being frozen.
Right. Yeah. So
Google and Microsoft are smart enough to separate the two concepts on the search criteria.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So what do you think about that? You think it's BS?
I genuinely do not think that they're thinking that far ahead.
Me neither.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense. I think Disney Frozen is called Frozen because the place they live is really freaking cold.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think that would be a whole lot of effort to be paid to just try and get people to not land on that initially. It's dumb.
Right. And you can't, right. And as you said, no matter how effective you think you're being, it doesn't make any sense to try and chase it down because you can't really bury the conspiracy theory or people Googling it. You can't really stop that.
Right. That's like anything you search for. If you don't get the keywords right you're looking for, the phrasing, it's not like you're just going to be like, well, that's it.
Sorry.
Guess I'm not going to do any more investigating. Yeah, like when I went to the infamous website for Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yes.
I didn't stop just there and be like, well, I guess this is where I'm at.
Yeah. That's it, folks, right?
Yeah.
That's all, folks.
Oh, my God, yeah. So I don't believe it. Good try, though. Good try.
Moving on.
Yeah, all right. So I found one that I found interesting here. It's number 14 is the Titanic didn't actually sink.
That's kind of a wild one, isn't it?
It is. This is actually a pretty fascinating story. Just because a lot of people don't know that there was another ship, like not far from the Titanic. I wish I could remember the name of it.
The one that I think we first received their SOS or whatever?
No, not even that ship. Because the ship that was literally like just edge of the horizon of the ocean.
Oh, okay.
They were, less than, probably 15 minutes away. They turned.
Oh, the SS Californian.
Yes, the Californian. Yeah. So they turned off their radio. They turned off their comms. The Californian, they warned the Titanic earlier that day, and they actually stopped and they just ceased their trip because they're like, this is just way too dangerous. There's too many icebergs out here. And they warned the Titanic, who was on pretty much the same track. They said, hey, just a heads up, there's tons of icebergs out here. You should probably slow down. And they didn't. They ignored them. So they ended up, the California turned off the radio, and that was it. So once the Titanic struck the iceberg and started going down, right, there was reports from the Californian that they saw the distress fireworks that were going off.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But the captain wanted to wait and see, if it was just celebratory fireworks or if it was actually, if they were in trouble.
I like that planning. They're like, oh, well, let's just wait.
Let's just wait it out and see. Yeah.
Let's just see if they're sinking or not. Right.
So this is where the conspiracy kind of comes into play.
Yeah.
So because that ship, who blatantly didn't go help them, turned off their radio, which I think wasn't protocol. And the other conspiracy was that their sister ship, the Olympic, was in an accident not too long before the Titanic's maiden voyage. And conspiracies say that they actually made the Olympic look like the Titanic.
Oh, okay.
And then took it out and purposely sank it. They're not saying a ship didn't sink. The conspiracy is that it wasn't actually the Titanic. It was the Olympic that conspiracy is so weird to me because I just think the logistics of trying to flip flop ships to make them one look like the other, and because they didn't look the same, like they were different sizes. I think they even had different stacks.
Man, this really gets. I mean, this really gets in there, right? Like it keeps extending, you know.
Yeah, and the reason is obviously it's for like insurance reasons, but the return on the insurance claim wouldn't even cover the cost of the ship. Like, so that kind of puts a big hole in their theory. No pun.
Right. No, and that's the thing about a lot of these is that there's always like either this conspiracy theory or the extension, because people who will defend the conspiracy theory will say like, well, yeah, but we don't have any proof that it didn't not happen that way, right?
Right.
And it's always comes down to something simple, like the insurance cost would have been completely bonkers, or there's already like solid, like the reflectors on the moon thing, right? Like there's already reflectors on the moon, so it's like but there's always something to explain it away.
Yeah, there's a you know the whole thing about the lifeboats.
Yeah, how they didn't. That was the whole thing with they didn't have enough. Most of them were half filled when they launched. Yada yada yada. Right.
Yeah, there was always a conspiracy about that as well. About they didn't have enough lifeboats because they didn't want to clutter the ship, which was not actually the case.
With lifeboats, yeah.
At the time, per regulation, the amount of lifeboats did not have to reflect the amount of people that were on board.
Right.
All it did was it reflected the size of your boat.
Right.
Like you only had to have X amount of boats or lifeboats if your ship was this big. Doesn't matter how many people were on it. Like it doesn't matter. Like, so that all obviously changed after that. But yeah, dude, there's so much behind the Titanic thing. It's so fascinating.
I know the Titanic in and of itself there's so much to talk about, whether it's the conspiracy theories or the sinking itself or anything in between there. You know, even the planning and launching of the Titanic and in the design of it. There's just so much to it, which is, I think, why the story of the Titanic is so interesting to people. Conspiracy theories or otherwise, people love the story of the Titanic, not because people died, but because there's so much to talk about.
There's so much mystery.
Yeah.
You know, it happened over 100 years ago. So, you know, the details are, the story and everything is so disconnected from us now.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's 110 years ago or something like that. Like it's a long ass time ago. So I don't know. We could do that. I could literally talk about that for an entire show. But I think we need to move on through this list. So I'm going to have you pick a new one.
Well, I'm actually going right to the next one on the list because
I figured you would.
I know anyone that listens to the show knows what a big, fan. I guess I don't know how you were a fan of something like this, but like, what's the right word I'm looking for?
Space nerd.
Enthusiast.
Space nerd.
Yeah. I am a space enthusiast, and when it comes to anything space, whether it be rockets or the literal, space-time of the universe. And number 15 on this list is that Apollo 17 wasn't the last moon mission. So the way that
catch me up. So Apollo 17, as far as the history books go, in 1972.
I think so. I think it's 1972.
That was the last time we went to the moon?
Yes. We did have plans for more. In fact, I have the list in front of me, but I believe NASA had originally had plans for like Apollo 18 and Apollo 19 and maybe a 20. I'd have to double check that. I don't have it pulled up right now.
Yeah, I do remember they got scrubbed.
Yes, they did get scrubbed. By that point, American interest had started to wane in the Apollo program.
So wait a minute, catch me up here. I apologize if I'm being ignorant on the situation here, but
no, please do.
1972, that's the last time we were at the moon?
Isn't that kind of wild in and of itself?
We haven't been to the moon since we've been alive?
No.
Really?
Your and I's and Gen X's claim to fame is, maybe you could call it the tail end, depending on how far you want to make Gen X go back. I can't remember the beginning years of Gen X. Is the end of the moon missions and the beginning and usage of the space shuttle. That's our Gen X space history, is really the space shuttle, not.
I know that they have done a lot of space exploration. Maybe they got bored of the moon. I don't know, but Mars, they've done pass-bys of Venus and
Right.
sent stuff to Jupiter, they've sent stuff out of our solar system. So literally we haven't been back to the moon in over 50 years.
No, we haven't been back to the moon in 50 years. And there's a lot of reasons why. We probably need an entire episode to go into the reasons why, because some of them are social, some of them are political, some of them are science, some of them are resources. Like there's a lot of different reasons why NASA pivoted from rocket missions to the moon and other objects to the space shuttle,
Okay.
right? That's a complicated, but what you're asking though is kind of the root of the entire.
That's what I was going to say. So this conspiracy says that actually wasn't the last time we were there.
Right.
So what are they saying
And that
was?
They actually made a movie out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And the big conspiracy theory is that there was an Apollo 18 and possibly more, but the conspiracy theory kind of focuses on a fictional Apollo 18 that ended tragically. And there's different versions of it out there. It just ended tragically, and NASA had a big cover-up. It ended tragically on the moon. They were actually either ran into, abducted, or killed by aliens, and that they had covered all that up. In fact, I think, if I remember correctly, I believe they also use that as a basis for one of the modern Transformers movies. That Apollo 18 was a massive, massive NASA and government cover-up to make sure that we, the common people of the Earth, do not know what's really out there.
Interesting.
That's basically how the conspiracy theory goes.
Okay, that's pretty fascinating. I'm gonna leave number 13 for you.
Okay. So am I doing another one already?
Well, I'm gonna do one, but I'm leaving that one for you.
Okay.
I know you'll like that one.
Yes.
I'm gonna do the one above it, number 12, Joe. I'm just trying to keep kind of pushing through some of these.
Oh, I like 12, but go ahead. I like 12.
Number 12, the conspiracy is that we are all living in the Matrix. Okay.
Yeah.
If you've seen the movie, you know what the Matrix is. If not, if you've been living under a rock, then I guess to sum it up, the Matrix would be that we as human beings are all connected to a gigantic computer system, and we are not actually walking around this earth, but we are walking in a simulation, and that's that is our existence in a computer-based sim.
Yeah.
I guess that sounds right.
Yeah, that's the conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory is that everything is nothing but essentially the Matrix. I mean, who knows what version it might be, right? But and that maybe even the Matrix itself is kind of an in-joke, like, haha, it's so meta. Made a movie. We made a movie out of something that's already at the Matrix, right? Yeah,
that's true. Oh, it really is. That's great. Yeah, it's like, oh no. the Matrix is like, they're onto us.
Shit, change something. Like,
they're literally making a movie about what we're doing.
Make it more real.
Yeah. But no, people always say, there was a glitch in the Matrix, when you see something in real life that was kind of a bit unexplainable.
Deja vu. Sometimes people will say that.
Yep. And the other one too, the Mandela effect.
Yes.
People will kind of credit that to being in the Matrix, where we have just different realities, or there's like a reboot, and people remember things differently than what they actually are.
You slipped between them, right? You slipped between reality 1 and reality number 148.
Yeah. Let's just say hypothetically, okay? Let's just say that the Earth has actually gone like downhill, like it is in the movie, okay?
Sure.
And this was the best option that, I guess in the movie, machines took over and they're using us for energy, and this is the way they keep us alive to do so.
Right. They just keep our brains and our bodies in those pods so they can use us to power everything, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cool, but I will say it's at least fair the way they're doing it. You know what I mean? If it's real.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the Matrix, strictly speaking, the idea of the Matrix itself, just the plot in the Matrix movie, it depends on how you want to read the conspiracy theory. Because if the conspiracy theory is it's just literally the Matrix as version it is in the movie, well, then there's a serious problem, because it doesn't matter how many human beings you stack on each other. The amount of power that the robots or the AI needed in the Matrix to power their
Zion or whatever it was,
you're not going to get that from, I don't care how many human brains you stack on each other.
Right.
You're not getting that from humans. We do not, despite what people may say, human beings do not produce that much power. We just don't.
Yeah. Well, let's just say that in a different scenario, because that one is odd to kind of wrap your head around.
Right.
Let's just say that we are, for some reason, living in the Matrix, maybe because the world has gone to crap, and this was our solution to survive, like as humanity. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I guess as long as you're unaware, like, I guess I'd be okay with it because, you're all in the same boat, literally.
Well, it almost doesn't matter, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's like one of those things where it almost doesn't matter because there is, believe it or not, I would actually not have this one on the list because of what you just said. There is a significant portion of the scientific community who has actually signed up for the fact that this could be some sort of simulation, but it doesn't matter if it is or isn't.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I would, because it is what it is.
Right, exactly. So if we are brains in a jar somewhere, or even so just electrodes hooked up to something, and this is just the reality of experience, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. But the reality that we still perceive is still the reality around us.
Would you want to be one of the free ones that gets out and like has to live in the post-apocalyptic, weird world wearing like potato sacks for clothes and eating mush?
Well, you mean if we're back to if the reality really was like from the Matrix?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just prefer the Matrix.
I think it's a genuinely good question to ask. I guess it depends on, I don't know. Once you know. So the fundamental question in that movie is that once you know, how do you, what do you say, right? And I don't know.
Well, that's like that
I don't know what I'd say.
There was that one character who was talking to Mr. Smith, the agent, and his goal was he was a traitor. He was helping the agents destroy the rebellion.
Right.
Because he wanted to be put back in the Matrix and forget everything that he knew.
Yeah, and just be filthy rich and have anything he ever wanted.
I would enjoy that.
I mean,
I would just rather do that.
I think in that movie too, it does kind of make for a compelling character, right? Because if the machines are like, look, if you just help us destroy Zion, we'll just make you the most successful, most powerful, one of people on Earth, and you'll never even remember this.
I'd be like, done. Plug me back in.
Be back in now.
Like, I'm over this. I want regular clothes again.
I don't know. But if I could start to bend the reality like Neo did, maybe I'm more up that angle. I don't know.
Oh, if you had the ability to bend reality in the Matrix, dude, sign me up.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that'd be so fun. All right, let's keep moving on though. Do you want to do that? Yep. Do you want to do the next one or number 4? What do you feel?
Let me go up to number 4 real quick. Let me see which
this
one
one's pretty interesting too.
Yeah, this is a fairly new one, and that's why I like discussing this one, because this isn't one of the quote unquote classic ones that we discussed on the prior episode or today. Do you want to go through? Or do you want me to go through?
No, you definitely go through this one.
Okay, so the CERN Research Laboratory discovered the Higgs boson in 2012, and the very, 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 very short
what's the
backstory.
Higgs boson?
The Higgs boson is what basically makes mass and matter work, essentially, right?
Okay.
Without the Higgs boson, you're missing the key link for mass to have any sort of.
It says AKA the God particle.
Right.
Interesting.
Right. You need the Higgs boson for mass to have any kind of what's the best word I'm looking for here? Any kind of reactive existence in our reality, right? Without it, basically, the popular saying is without it, everything just falls apart, right? Which is also, I think, some lyrics from a Nine Inch Nails song back from when we were kids.
They said the Higgs boson in a Nine Inch Nails song?
No. Without it, everything just falls apart.
I thought they were saying they were singing about the Higgs boson.
No, not quite.
Sorry, go ahead.
But what the conspiracy theory is, and I just like it for how kind of fun it is.
Well, what's
right?
the title of the article say here?
It is of the conspiracy theory, or the title of the Higgs boson article.
Yeah, what's the title of the conspiracy theory? We didn't say it yet.
Oh, it's that the world actually ended in 2012 because the CERN Research Laboratory accidentally sucked the Earth into a black hole. Right.
Okay. Okay. Keep going.
I know, right? I know. So
Whoops.
there's a lot to take in here, because I guess what I don't understand about this conspiracy theory is existence just what it is now, the way we remember it? and that when we got sucked into the black hole, nothing really changed? Or is the idea that we all just kind of have these false memories? I guess I don't know. I don't know how the conspiracy theory makes sense ultimately, because if I'm just making this up because it's not true, Earth was sucked into a black hole, we would know immediately.
Yeah, or at least in theory we would know, because no one. I mean, they. I think everything they know about black holes, as far as what I understand, is theoretical, which are very strong theories.
Right. We have to be careful with how we use theory, because that often gets tossed around as, well, they don't really know. I mean, they got a pretty freaking good. They got
a pretty good idea. Yeah, but no one's ever gone in. But they, like, if they see something go into a black hole, well, it just doesn't. It just gets turned into pretty much nothing. It just turns back into molecules, energy.
I mean, it's as long as the black hole is a certain kind of black hole, it's basically spaghettified and essentially turned into the particles that it is.
Right. But that's their theory. Like, I'm sure that people are like, well, but we haven't been there. How are we going to know? Like, are they going to just throw someone in it one day and see what happens?
Right. And that's how these theories, and you bring up a good point, because that's how these theories survive. That if it was a non-rotating black hole and it didn't spaghettify the Earth, we just haven't figured it out yet, because it takes too much time for us to figure it out. Like, we just haven't realized it yet. Anyway, that's the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I don't know if I'm on board with that, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I think that one's kind of fun.
It is fun
to think about, right? Because it is something that kind of makes you think for a second. You're like, well, if we were in a black hole, would we realize it? Would we even know? Right, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right, I'll find another one here real quick. So we're not going to talk about the flat earthers. Because we've discussed that before.
Loch Ness is overdone. Number 20 is overdone. It's been done a million times.
As much as I want to jump into number 10, which is Bigfoot is real, we've expressed our opinions on that numerous times.
Yeah, we have done that many, many, many times.
Yeah. So let me see. The moon isn't real. Zombies can rise from the dead. That's just a dumb theory.
I mean, that's just a classic. I mean, it's not even a conspiracy theory, right?
What's this? Bill Gates is making fake snow? What?
Okay.
How's it even?
I don't know. I saw this one too, and I was.
A spoiler alert, he wasn't. Okay.
Right.
Any other interesting ones to note here to talk about? Let's just see. Loch Ness. Nope. Keep going. Oh, a solar flare caused the Titanic to sink? All right. I mean, I guess that's another theory.
Right. Everything. Why does everything always get back to the Titanic? It just does.
It really does,
right?
Yeah. Sirens were responsible for shipwrecks. Sirens meaning mystical women dubbed as sirens.
Yeah, mystical water women, basically. I think they're like half mermaid, half woman, or something like that. I don't know the exact. I don't know the exact evolutionary biology of a siren, but that's the claim. At least is that at least old timey shipwrecks were sunk by sirens.
Queen Elizabeth was a man?
That one, I had no idea. I'm looking at the same list you are. And when I saw that, I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I don't even know how to talk about it. So I just didn't say a damn thing.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. I don't get that when I was kind of reading through it. It makes no sense. Airplane exhaust trails are filled with chemicals. I mean, that's... Wait. This might be worth talking about. Maybe. There's nothing like a government poison conspiracy. Many people have hopped on board that with theorists who claim that the airplane's exhaust trail caused by low temperatures and high altitudes is actually chemtrails or chemicals by government. Oh God, Aaron, here we go. I don't know.
Right. There's two words there, right? There's contrails, which is what they are. And then the conspiracy theory is that they're actually chemtrails. I like the play on words is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, can it just be exhaust? Or, I mean, it's not even, is it even exhaust?
It's the heat of the exhaust immediately crystallizes into ice, small ice chunks, essentially. And they leave the fluffy, floating, quote unquote, clouds behind the jet.
All right.
Right?
I believe that more than government chemtrails.
I mean, hey, I'll put it this way. If the government needed to dump chemicals on people,
They're not gonna be like
that is about
they're gonna be like knocking on Southwest.
Way to do it.
Like, hey, Southwest, we need to put chemicals on your airplane to disperse across America and the world. Like,
right.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll pay you. I mean,
and that's what I
guess it's not out of the realm of possible, but it just seems really far fetched. I mean, who knows? It's probably not that crazy of a conspiracy if you really start diving into it. What are the chemicals for? What are they trying to do? Is it like the theory or the conspiracy theory of what do you call it? The fluoride in the water that makes people stupid.
Right.
I don't think that's like that crazy, honestly, of a theory either, because of the scientific evidence of like what fluoride does for humans, like doesn't add up to why they put it in the water. So
right.
I'm kind of like, I'm one of them people on that theory. I'm like, well, why are they doing it then? Like maybe they shouldn't.
Hey, what is this?
Yeah. So, all right. Did you want to do, I think we covered pretty much all those that were notable.
We covered all of them. I'm just, in case anyone's wondering, if you see a jet and you see those fluffy white clouds behind it, the contrails, don't worry. You're going to be fine.
Yeah. Just put your head up in the air, open your mouth, put your tongue out.
Yeah. You'll be fine. I promise.
Yeah. Enjoy.
See, I'm actually, what they would say is I'm part of the conspiracy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, aha, he does know. All right, well, let's keep moving on here. We have one more bit to do.
Yep.
Which we actually forgot to mention what we're even doing next, but
I know, but that's okay. We can do it now.
Yeah, we found Joe found a few items on Craigslist. And we're kind of playing a little differently here on me trying to guess how much it is selling for. Did you find all these here in Northwest PA?
Yes, these are all Northwest PA, and we're doing a little mix up on the Craigslist game today. Today I have found, as we traditionally do, I found 5 items on Craigslist. And don't worry, if we need more, I can find more in a second. I got a backup plan. But instead of just saying, what do you want to pay? I'm going to throw a number out there of these very interesting things that I found on Craigslist. And Dave, you're going to tell me if you think the actual price is higher or lower. That's all you have to do.
It is Price is Right style.
Yeah. So all you have to do is say higher or lower. You don't have to say a price. You don't have to get it right. You just have to say if the real price is higher or lower than the number I give you.
Yeah. By Price is Right style, I don't mean the initial guess when you're at the podium. I mean, like when you're playing the game and they say,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Like the price of this toaster is $27. Do you think it is higher or lower than that? And
that's right.
That's how we're playing it. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, do you think you're good at Price is Right style?
Generally, yes. But with Craigslist, I don't know.
I know, right? That's what's going to make this a little bit harder. Because you throw out a toaster or a lamp or some modern piece of electronics, maybe I can get it, right?
Maybe. It's always hard because with retail price, you kind of have an idea of what things sort of sell for. Right. But yeah, when on the open market selling by an individual, oh man, they could price them.
Dicey.
Yeah, they could price them for, they don't give a shit about something, just to get rid of it. Or they have a lot of, false value in it.
Exactly. That's what makes us a little more mixed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
do we want to intro with the Craigslist song officially, or we just skip that today?
Do we have a Craigslist song?
Yeah, we do. Remember is it like down?
Oh yeah, we do. All right, hang on. It's even on my board anymore.
It's like we
I found the damn thing. Here we go. Is this it?
Oh yeah, I think so. It's the Craigslist game, only different.
What will they pay? All right. I'm not even sure if that's the original Craigslist song.
Yeah, right. Who knows?
I don't even know. It said Craigslist on my board. I feel like it was different than that before. Oh my God. All right. All right. Do you want to do this? Here, we can put like a little bit of game show music in the background while we're reading them off.
Oh yeah. We could do that.
Yeah. Here we go. What do you got?
All right. So, up next, Dave, is a factory new Daihatsu Japanese mini dump truck UTV side-by-side 4x4.
All right. Oh, that's funny, but it's actually kind of distracting me. All right, let's see it turn off.
You're going to do it one more time, like later, though.
Right, yeah.
All right.
So
the
what is
price.
it? Yeah.
So this is I can't stop doing it in the game show voice, right? Okay. No, this is a factory new Daihatsu Japanese mini dump truck. Have you seen these things?
I have.
Do you know what a mini dump truck is?
I do. Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
And I did not realize how popular these things are to sell on these online marketplaces. Like these things are all over Craigslist, and I'm like, I didn't know there was like a big mini dump truck market.
Yeah, there is. They have other, not just dump trucks, but they have like little, mini trucks, mini Jeeps.
Yeah.
Like they're all kinds of them.
So I am good. Like I said, I'm going to give you a price. You just have to guess if the true price of the mini dump truck is higher or lower. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The price for the mini dump truck that I'm going to give you is $21,000. Is a mini dump truck, a real mini dump truck price, higher or lower than $21,000?
This, you say it was new?
This is a factory new Daihatsu Japanese mini dump truck.
I'm going to say it's a little bit more expensive than that.
You are correct. Yes.
What was the actual price? Actual retail price is
$26,400.
Nice. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Nice job. And also too, just to let you know, I'm not trying to do it. Like, I'm not trying to trick you. Like if the real price is $1,000, I'm not going to be like, the price I have chosen is $999. You know?
Yeah. I appreciate you giving me a wider spread to work with.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a wider spread than that. Okay.
What
Here
else
we
did
go.
you find?
Next up on our list is a Samsung Ultra S23.
S20. It's a phone, right?
Yes. The price that this person wants, or the price I'm giving you for the phone, you have to guess if it's higher or lower.
Before you tell me.
Yeah.
What number is Samsung up to now?
I think they're on the 24.
Okay, so someone just upgraded their phone. They're looking
or 23.
Oh.
They might actually be on the 23. I can't remember.
All right, so maybe somebody switched from Apple to the S23,
Right.
realized they hate it, couldn't return it. Now they're selling it. Okay. All right, go ahead.
I just Googled Samsung current S. And it is the S23. This is the new phone. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The price I will give you is $700. You must guess if the real price is lower or higher than $700.
I'm going to say they're selling it used. Oof. I can't imagine it's too old. So they got a new phone for a reason.
It is a 4-month-old 8 gig version.
They didn't like it. I think these phones usually go for like $1,000, $1,500 maybe tops.
Yeah.
And they're selling it for, what did you say it was? $700?
I'm proposing a price
of
$700.
All right. So I'm going to say they want a little bit more than that for real. I'm going to say they're asking like $1,000 for it.
The answer is,
oh no.
This person surprisingly is only asking $500.
Oh, well, good for them.
For a Samsung S23. And oddly enough, it literally says in the description, going back to iPhone.
I knew it. If you've heard the show long enough, you know that happened to me before too.
This is the problem with you Apple users. Is that once you use anything in the Apple ecosystem, you're like, I can't use anything else.
Well, yeah, it's bad. All right. Well, at least I was on the right track of why it was on the marketplace.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. So go ahead. What's another one?
Okay. The third item up for offer today is an entire set of DJ equipment.
Ooh.
It's everything. Let me read it to you.
Yeah, give me some items because this could definitely make the price.
Right. This is more than just like a turntable and a speaker, right?
Yeah.
This is everything you need to start your own DJ business. 4 powerful speakers, 2 gig bars, 2 mixers, wireless microphones, and many, many lights.
Okay. So, not to get a little bit nerdy here, but I do want to know the brand of the speakers if they have them listed.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to go through the pictures. These are MTX speakers.
Okay. All right.
Is that something you recognize? MTX?
I do. So I'm guessing this is a bit of an older system. Most places, most people don't use MTX anymore.
Okay.
So probably a little older.
All right.
What kind of a DJ board are they using?
It is let me see if I can find it here. It looks like it's a Gemini.
Definitely an order system. Okay. I'm sure the wireless system, does it say perhaps what those are? Maybe like a Shure wireless system?
It looks like a Shure. Yes, It is a Shure wireless system. That is correct.
I'm a nerd.
I'm glad you know about this. I think it makes this next challenge a little more interesting.
I mean, the Shure wire, how many mics does it say it is?
I think they have...
Usually probably a 2, maybe a 4.
It's 2. He has 2. It's a 2 mic system.
Okay, so the Shure mics alone, the Shure mic wirelesses are rather expensive.
Okay.
Those might sell for $600 or $700 for that system, all by itself. Old board, old speakers. I'm sure like speaker poles, a bunch of different lights, light bars. I'm assuming you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, this is everything that you have described so far appears to be in here. There's lights, there's light bars, the speakers, the poles, all of the cabling. He's even including all the cabling and everything either. Like this thing is 100% out of the box, ready to go.
Okay. I have an idea in my head, but I want to hear what your proposed price is.
The challenge proposal is $4,000.
I'm going to say it's higher than that.
The answer is...
No way. My guess was like $6,000.
Okay, so you maybe, and you might even be onto something here. I don't know. They're only asking $2,500 for this DJ business set.
If I had to guess, then the reason is probably because it's old. Like
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, I was getting kind of too wrapped up in the the lights and the wireless microphones. So
right.
Yeah, because that stuff does get really expensive. And were there like big subwoofers with it too, and like in top speakers? It looks like there's like 4 speakers.
I see 4 sets of speakers. Yes,
there's probably like 2 big ones and 2 not so big ones.
I mean, maybe the reality is here. Honestly, maybe the reality here is this person is just charging too little.
Yeah, and they're just over it. And they just want rid of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Where's this located at?
This one is in actually Erie.
Okay.
So Erie, Pennsylvania, $2,500. If you want to be a DJ, there's a set waiting for you.
If you want to get started in man, like even if it's just a mixer and not an actual like DJ control board, you can pick one of those up for $400. You could start your own DJ business to get your foot in the door for $2,500.
I just want to know before we go to the next question, what's your DJ name? And I already know it. I already know what your DJ name is, but I want to hear you say it.
DJ Debo.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's funny.
This goes together so well.
It does.
It's like, hey, I just had the best DJ at my wedding. Is DJ Debo?
Yeah. Oh, he's great. He's fantastic.
Oh, he's great. Oh yeah, he did our whole. He did our wedding. He did our bar mitzvah.
The bar mitzvah. But yeah. So no, you could you could literally buy all this stuff, and you could like sign up to do a couple free weddings to get your foot in the door, and then literally just charge like $800 to get going for the first few weddings, and boom, dude, you got your stuff paid off already in 3 weddings.
That's what I'm like. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say like nothing looks broken. I don't know. It's like so hard to tell with this stuff, but it does look like a pretty good deal.
It's a starter gig, man. Use it to get going, and slowly start upgrading your gear. There you go.
I mean, hey, that's what you did.
That's
right?
the entrepreneur in me.
Yeah, you're like, just go buy it. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, come on, man. Be a weekend warrior. Get it done.
Let's go.
All right. So I lost that one. I paid too much.
All right. Well, hey, it was a good guess anyway. But here we go. We have next up on the Craigslist Higher or Lower Challenge. We have a 2016 Arctic Cat ZR 8000 limited edition snowmobile, mint condition, only 1,000 miles, with the title, because anybody who buys anything in Pennsylvania knows how important it is
to have a title.
To have the title. This is available in Union City. Looks like this person has a whole garage of things, but legitimately this thing looks in great condition. It's a snowmobile. I don't know what you know about snowmobiles. It is a 2016 with only 1,000 miles on it.
That's a lot of miles, though, I think, on a snowmobile.
So just to give you a little background, when I was looking at this, there were a bunch of snowmobiles popping up, probably because the winter season is here. I saw some snowmobiles with a ton of mileage on it.
Okay.
Like I'm talking like thousands,
Tens of
upon
thousands?
yes, of miles. And I'm like, and when I saw this, it's only 1,000 miles, I was like, okay, that's a little more reasonable.
I don't even know how much snowmobiles sell for.
Well, this will make this interesting.
Yeah,
then.
it will. Yeah.
Okay.
I have an idea in my head how much I would pay for it. So we'll see where you're at.
Okay. So I am going to propose a price of $5,000 for 2016 Arctic Cat with 1,000 miles and ready to go out the door. What say you, Debo?
All right. So in my mind, because I know nothing about how much these cost,
Okay.
I was in my mind around $3,500 to $4,000.
Okay.
I'm going to say lower.
The answer is
Oh my God. I suck. How much are they asking for this thing?
these things. Okay, so I was only aware of this because of a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Snowmobiles are getting ungodly expensive.
Oh, are they really?
This thing is $8,800 used.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Brand new. If you wanted a brand new, similar sled, like I don't care. I don't know if it would be a 2016 or 2021, whatever, 2023. You're looking at anywhere between 17 and 20 for a brand new one. This person wants 8,800 for lightly used.
Okay.
So I mean, 5,000 was on the little low end, but I'll tell you what, I don't blame you because I didn't know what these things cost either.
Yeah, that's definitely not in my wheelhouse of knowledge.
Well, no, because if somebody said to me, they're like, "Oh, you can buy my snowmobile for $8,800," I'd say no, right? I'm like,
Like, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, that sounds like I'd rather have something with wheels on it for $8,800.
Yeah, or something I can use not just in the snow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it maybe also in the snow, but not just in the snow. Exactly.
Yeah, like a quad. I'd buy a quad. You can use that all year round.
Exactly.
I guess the same idea is like buying a boat or a jet ski. I mean, they're very limited time use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. All right. Did you have one more?
I do have one more, and
we got time for one more?
I feel like you're going to redeem yourself on this one.
I hope so.
Okay. So, you ready for this? Here we go.
Is it a camera?
Right. It's a DSL. Right. It's a DSLR. Actually, it's actually your set of photography material.
Why is it on Craigslist?
I stole it and I put it on Craigslist. Oh, anyway. All right.
Oh, wrong button. I meant to hit this one.
You son of a bitch.
Well, I thought it would just make the joke even funnier if you saw your own stuff up on Craigslist. Actually, that would be rather hilarious, wouldn't it?
Until I started getting phone calls for it.
You're like, wait a minute. Did you put my shit up on Craigslist?
Oh my God. All right. So what's somebody selling here?
Here we go. This is a Josh Allen signed football helmet. It is a legitimate Josh Allen signature
Who's that?
on a football. It's he's a quarterback.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Josh Allen is the current quarterback of is it the Bills? Yeah, it's the Bills.
Okay.
Yep. And this is a Bills football helmet. So super basic here. There's no mystery to this. No like mint condition. Like, I mean, I guess you could have mint condition on these things, but it looks like it's in great condition. It is a legitimate Buffalo football helmet signed by Josh Allen.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Oh, I have an idea,
Okay.
but I want to hear what your proposed price is.
All right. My proposed price for this is $2,500.
Wow. Okay. My idea in my head is way less than that. So I'm going to have to say lower.
Okay. The answer is...
Oh, thank God I got one. Wow.
I thought I could get you by going like so high.
I was going to say $400 or $500.
Okay, $7. Right. You are definitely, for some reason, like all things considered, you were relatively close on that one.
$2,500. I'm glad you gave me a ridiculous number.
What I thought I could throw you off a little bit to get you to be like, oh,
God, it must be way up there. Yeah.
Yeah, like this thing must be worth like $5,000.
Yeah. Still, though, man. I mean, would you pay that much for somebody's helmet? I mean, I know it's signed, but
okay. Well, let's change the person, right? Yeah. Let's make it the modern equivalent to Josh Allen.
Sidney Crosby.
A Sidney Crosby
signed helmet.
Let's even make it a jersey, right?
Okay.
$700 for Sidney Crosby signed jersey. I mean,
I guess Yeah, for some people,
Ooh.
sure. That probably,
Yeah.
if that's something they're really into, not hockey, but I mean like collecting memorabilia. If they have like a sports room and they have like a couple signed jerseys already like behind glass or something,
Right.
sure, I'd probably pay it to put in my collection. But as a person that loves hockey but has zero items displayed anywhere, I don't think I'd buy it because
Right.
I wouldn't know what to do with it.
It's just something that you would then own, and you're probably going to end up like this person and putting it back up for sale.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I think for the right buyer, sure. Yeah, they'd definitely buy it, but no, I would not be the right buyer.
I don't
Like
yeah,
said,
I don't
even though
think
I'm
it's
a huge fan, but no,
right.
I have nothing. I don't know what to do with it. I'd rather spend the money on tickets, like to go watch them.
I know. And that's the thing is like, it is kind of a weird thing to think about, right? Just think about that for a second. The whole idea of collecting something that somebody signed, right?
Mhm.
It's almost, and I fully respect it. And yes, I have things that have been signed by somebody. I have a signed rally car picture signed by Travis Pastrana, right? That I got at a rally several years ago. But it's also a super weird thing to think about. Like, I cherish that thing because somebody signed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think any signed item by the person that owned it or just
Or it's about.
Yeah, like it's definitely it's a cool thing to have. A lot of people have signed pucks, for hockey, signed footballs, signed jerseys, signed baseballs. It's a cool thing to have, but it's for me. I don't collect that kind of stuff. So even if someone said, "Hey, do you want this signed football from like Ben Roethlisberger?"
Right.
I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't think I want it. Not because I wouldn't appreciate his signature on it, but I just don't do that. Like,
I think what happens is sometimes it becomes a proposition of what you can do with the money. Like, let's just suppose it is a signed football by Ben Roethlisberger, and let's suppose they're charging $700. My brain immediately goes to, what else can I do with that $700?
I'm even taking it from the idea of $0. If someone just said, "Here, do you want this?"
Oh, do you want this? I mean,
I would still be on the fence because I feel like I would not be the right recipient
I see what
of
you're
this
saying.
item.
You wouldn't be able to, right.
Because I don't care. So I would say, no, give it to somebody else who actually, gives a crap and would probably display it or do something more than I would like throw it in my closet, like.
Right. In 20 years ago, you dig it out, you're like,
oh my God, I forgot all about this. Yeah.
From Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, it's just stuff that I don't care. Like, it's just not my thing. So no, I guess that's why, like, I'm not the, I'm not the guy that
you're not the person to collect signed memorabilia.
Yeah, I just don't care. I mean, I do have a couple things and they're not displayed. My wife one year got me a little mini signed helmet from Chris Letang. I own it. I have it.
Yeah.
I don't do anything with it. Not because it wasn't like a super awesome gift.
It just exists.
It just exists. Like, I just don't know what to do with them is all. Like I said, if I had like a sports room and, had stuff on display, that'd be like, that would be awesome, but I don't. So
it is. You and I are similar in that, like, we enjoy sports, but we don't live in the sports that we don't. What's the right word I'm looking for here? We don't really
obsess beyond
the teams that we kind of watch casually on television.
Yeah, which no disrespect to people that do.
Please do. By the way, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I love walking into someone's like Steeler room or their man cave, like sports stuff everywhere. Like, it's awesome. I think it's cool. I just don't do it.
No, I nerd out on computer games and
yeah.
Okay, so again, let's talk about being guilty as charged here. I'm standing in the middle of the room that has a ton of classic video games from the 1990s or 80s, 90s, and 2000s that sit here.
That you have on display on your shelf.
That I have on display, exactly. They literally just sit here. I don't even use most of them because, I mean, how could I? But I collect them. So there you go.
That's true. That's true. So if somebody came to you, Joe, and said, "Hey, I have an original Mario, like original NES Mario." You could do it like this. The first run from the factory, like 1 through 500. Yeah, which actually sell for quite a bunch.
They do actually. That is a legitimate thing, by the way.
Yeah, like a lot. So, but if they're like, hey, would you be interested in buying this for like $500? You would probably consider. I know you would.
If they said 500,
yeah, I know. Yes. Well, that's because you know how much they actually sell for. They sell for a lot, dude.
A lot. There was a limited edition from the Nintendo World Championships. Nintendo only made like 12 cartridges.
Yeah, it was like
the Nintendo
gold
World
or silver or something like that.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember.
I think I can't remember, and I'm not going to look it up right now. But I think it either went for tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I think it was like about $250,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to look it up. Nintendo World Championship cartridge. And there's two different kinds. There's a gray one and there's a gold one. Here it is. The 1990s gray one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The gray one, $175,000.
Yeah, the gold one sold, I thought, for like $250,000 or something like that. It was up there.
Yes. The gold one is obscene. The gray ones are expensive. And then they made some copies that Nintendo produced, and they're like $2,500. But these things are just, like I said, just as guilty as anybody else. They are out there. They do exist. People collect them. So everybody just has their thing, right?
They do. Yeah. And that would be your thing.
Yeah.
I think everybody collects something to a point. It may not be a collection that you perhaps even display.
Right.
You might just be drawn to certain things.
Yeah. No, I agree. And some people do it passively. You kind of realize
you're not even thinking about it. Yeah.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah. Like me and my camera gear.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, if someone's like, oh, I got this, 85 millimeter, Canon, whatever, L lens for, $500, I'll be like, sold. Like,
right.
I'll buy it right now.
Done.
Like, that's a really good deal. I love that lens.
Yeah.
So no, everyone's got their own thing. But anyway, let's get ready to wrap this one up, dude. We've been blabbing about collector stuff, all because of that last item.
Yeah, that was good though. I think we're gonna do that again sometime. Only you're gonna do it to me.
That's right. Yeah. I didn't get on Craigslist to find anything because I didn't want to accidentally find stuff you were looking for me.
Right. But that's okay.
Yeah, we'll wait a few weeks. And actually, real quick before we head off of here. Stay tuned for next week's episode because we're going to have Amanda back on the show again.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, this will be her third appearance, and we are very much looking forward to having her back in the studio.
I agree.
So, all right, man, let's get out of here. Thank you guys for sticking around for another one, and we'll see you next Monday.
Talk to you next time.